1, 2, 3. Excellent. Hello and welcome to a brand spanking and shiny new season of Pitch Please. I am putting on a voice because I feel that it is necessary when you are introducing the latest season of a fair to middling podcast. Pitch Please is a podcast where sometimes you get together and you pitch a film, whereas other times two people will pitch a film against each other, or TV series, or book, or comic, or game, and then there will be a third person doing a bit of that there judging. Just a quick word to our Japanese audience. Watashi wo kare o kaete ira madeko kokiyo. That means I'm wanking whilst writing this, and is a throwback to a joke that we did before the podcast, thus making it completely irrelevant.
If you subscribe to our Patreon at the $1 level, you get all that pre-show. So, you
get that pre-show in the show notes. Hi, for those of you that don't know and can't recognise my incredible voice acting skills, I'm Mike Orvis. I'm the legendary beard over at Geek Pride Towers. I basically just do podcasts as a means of self-help, I think. And with me, as always, on my left, is the inconsolably brilliant, the indescribably incandescent, and just the smoothest skinned little man that I've ever had the pleasure of rubbing the back of. It is Callum Tyndall.
Again, why do people keep sharing things? I said.
All I'm going to say to you, Callum, is bottle of Voss, hotel room. It happened. You know it happened.
And for $10 on Patreon, you can get that photo set.
You can get that boudoir set. Didn't we do a Patreon gag last season?
We didn't. We haven't made it clear enough that, please, we need money.
Do you think, does Matt actually listen to these? Should we just set up a Patreon?
I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't.
We should totally set up a page, like a secret. We'll call it like the secret Patreon. Shh, don't tell Matt Geary. And I'll join it and pay us $1, meaning that I'll miss out on 66 cents because the other 2/3 will be going to you two.
If we get just $1, it's worth it.
Just sending nudes to myself. Oh, amazing. Or just writing up the show notes being like, oh, they're going to love this, the patrons. And then I've got a dual screen monitor on with a different email account and just go, send, and then just sit there looking at the other screen. Oh, look at that. Pitch Please have messaged me on Patreon. Wonder what that is. Look at that. That's some quality content. He's typed in 3, then the equal sign 4 times, and then put a capital D, thus making some sort of ASCII penis. What a fucking brilliant mind that young Michael has. If it was him, obviously we don't know, because it could have been any of the other two. Anyway, on my right is a man so full of sperm that the Cuban Missile Crisis was avoided because he produced enough offspring that the starving Russian peasants just ate them like cattle, and it weren't even a thing. He still had enough left over for 2 glorious children of his own. It is the daddy cool, the guy who was too sexy for his shirt that Right Said Fred wrote that song about that one time. It is Benjamin J. Thee.
That intro was maximum 40% accurate.
Okay. Do you want to pick the holes in
for
that,
$1 on Patreon, you can get the full story.
Yeah, baby. Look at this. The bants is high. We're working. Oh, good lord. Season 3, and we are on fire. None of your tired hate fuck Power Rangers episodes. Although we probably should talk about Power Rangers a little bit. They've just been bought by Hasbro, which is kind of a massive thing.
$500 million.
For $500 million, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Which is mad. Yeah. They've Saban have sold to Hasbro, which could affect the it could affect their relationship with Super Sentai. I think I'm not that much of a Power Rangers fan. I should probably be, but I recently, after our pitch, and then I bought a cheap T-shirt in a closing down sale. I tried to watch Power Rangers again, and I don't think I'm stepping out of line here, lads, when I say it's a bit contrived.
No, you settle down there, son.
What? I got to Power Rangers Turbo, where like Billy quit but was still hanging out, and then there was a kid who turned into an adult every time he became a ranger, and there was like this 2-part made-for-TV movie that explained the change between Zeo and Ranger and Turbo, and I went, nah.
Oh, nah. You think that's weird? So my sister is 7, so she is watching the new one.
That is fucking weird, man. That's weird. 7 is odd.
But so she's watching Power Rangers. God fuck knows what they're called now. Let's
right.
See
what series is that?
Let's see what the newest
Power Rangers Godfuckers.
I would watch that show.
But it's so weird now. Like, they now have... For one thing, they've got like this weird bird alien person who hangs out with them. Don't really know what his deal is.
There's always a weird alien, and that's part of the deal.
Yeah, but but I'm like, Zordon and stuff are like, okay, I'm down with this. You're just a big floating head. This is like, this one alien dude who's kind of like a bird person. I'm like, why are you here? Like, I clearly missed the
first. Andrew Marr's out of work since he left the one show. Now he's got.
But
just Andrew Marr with a cup glued to his face.
But the Rangers,
I'm the alien,
can become any of the Rangers from the past. Like, they don't have their own deal.
Oh fuck! I know this. It's Mega Force, I think.
But they've got like
they can like become any of the Rangers.
They've got toys of all the different Rangers, and so they choose the like Ranger suit they need. For this play, which seems first of all way too powerful, but also, what were the fucking other mentors doing that they were giving all their Rangers one suit that was like, this is suitable for one thing, and now we get to Megaforce and they're like, oh no, actually it turns out that each suit is actually useful for different sort of things, so you should probably interchange them. For some reason it took us like 20 generations of Rangers getting fucked up by aliens before we decided this.
You've really missed a lot of Rangers. That's not the most recent one. The most recent one is Super Samurai, I think, or something like that.
This might just be the one that whatever channel she's watching it on has.
Probably on Netflix. Yeah. But like ever since like Turbo, it's gotten progressively weirder and just more fucking. They don't even care anymore. One was set in a post-apocalyptic future where they turn into cars, and then Dino.
Will they turn into cars
or something? Dino Charge, Power Rangers Dino Charge. When that was set, the best thing about it for me is how it's filmed in New Zealand, or most of them are filmed in New Zealand, which they try to pass off as like the west coast of America. So everyone's like, "G'day, mate, I'm just a Los Angelino, like you are." But then the fight scenes are all set in Japan, because obviously they've taken them from Super Saiyan. Yeah. So it's like, that's in New Zealand, you're pretending it's Los Angeles, and you're fighting in Japan. This is fantastic. What a fuck up is this? I love it. Absolutely love it.
Anyway, hello everyone. This is Pitch Please. I'm going to try and explain what goes on in a less whimsical way this time, because we're already 8 minutes into the podcast and haven't actually talked about what we're actually going to talk about. So, Pitch Please is a podcast whereby we pitch things. It's as simple as that. So it could be a movie, it could be a book series, it's normally movies or TV shows, but it could also be games. It could be literally any form of media. We could pitch it. We could, if we thought it was compelling enough, we could pitch a fucking billboard or a, corporately owned Rubik's Cube that has 6 pictures on it that you can change and go, oh, that's interesting. What we've decided to do for this season to kind of change it up a little bit is we really, really enjoyed the Jurassic Park episode where we all kind of got to collab together, and Ben and Callum really enjoyed their collaboration episode, and I really enjoyed kind of my. It was still a kind of a pitch off, but towards the end we sort of collaborated on the Obi-Wan Kenobi episode. So we thought, I'm going to burp now, excuse me, might cut this out, or don't, whatever, continuity. So we decided that we're going to do like this alternate thing. So every other episode, we're going to roll the dice as per normal and collaborate on whatever the dice rolls on. And then every sort of even episode, or every episode after that, we'll do the normal thing that you've known for the last 2 seasons, where we'll roll the dice and then 2 of us will pick, oh yeah, I want to try that, and the third person will be the very confused, normally, judge. So this week I'm leading proceedings just because I've got the loudest mouth and I'm editing. So I'm going to roll the dice. We've got a new list of new stuff. Some of it was even added this week. And I will roll the dice, and we are just going to completely cold pitch whatever it is that pops up. Okay. I've rolled the magic dice. The magic dice has rolled on the number 19. Let me have a little look. Okay. Wolfenstein.
Oh
shit. Wait, did I recommend that? I think I did.
Were you perhaps playing Wolfenstein when you pitched it?
I wasn't, though. I did play Wolfenstein 2 a little while ago. I think I may have scrolled through my Steam library going, what could we adapt?
This is good. This is good. This is also good. Right, okay. So, Wolfenstein. Right, I'm going to just completely put my hands up here. I played the original, and I've been meaning to get around to playing the new ones. But I haven't yet. But I know it kicked up quite the fuss. So I'm going to do the thing I do normally when I don't know what to do, and let you guys sort of run with it, and then either become a complete corporate sellout whore, talk about the marketing angle of things, or just completely derail it with dogs. So, cool. Who wants to start?
Well, I would start by saying I don't think... So, I've only played... Well, I played, I think, about half of the first of the new ones. And then I can't remember why I fell off it. Like, I was enjoying it, but it wasn't grabbing me. But then the Wolfenstein, the New Colossus? Was that what it was called?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, New Colossus. I played that all the way through. I absolutely loved it. Like, it grabbed me a lot more, the whole putting a gang together of misfits. So I'm not, a Wolfenstein expert by any means either. And I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who love Wolfenstein, know all the lore, played every game, and we are going to ruin this for you. So, apologies for that. But,
there's 3 guys who know nothing about Wolfenstein. Just like, so, Nazis, right?
So I love that thing where I killed the Nazis.
I'm going to suggest that we do that thing that most people do when they don't really know what to do with property and don't want to condense it into a succinct story, and go 13-part Netflix series.
Well, here's the thing as well. I don't think Wolfenstein... I mean, that... Yeah, very much. But also, I don't think Wolfenstein has... If you're adapting it, has to be a straight adaptation of the games.
Oh, no. I'm thinking we craft our own story and use the assets.
Yeah.
We play in their sandbox, as it were.
Because I think as long as you've got Nazis winning World War II, kind of that... Not... sci-fi, but not quite like space sci-fi kind of technology. Where
you're going to hear a lot of typing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm obviously going to be furiously trying to look up lore and things.
But they've got like a lot of more. It's more advanced than it should be because there's. God, I'm going to get this wrong, but there's like a secret society of people who had like. Who discovered advanced technology, and then I think the Nazis managed to get a hold of it, and I think that's how they won the war.
Okay. So, can I pitch the opening?
Yeah.
Right. It's Normandy Beach. There's all the shit that goes on Normandy Beach. You've got the turrets. You've got the barbed wire. Everything's bombed out. And then you get, obviously, grizzled dickhead number 45, played by... who should we get him played by one of the dudes from Supernatural?
They're a bit too pretty, those boys. I like Sam Worthington as the main guy.
Yeah, but I mean, they kind of got to be pretty, don't they? Because this is if we're pitching a 13-part Netflix special, again I'm being a marketing wanker. But this has to appeal to 20-something couples who've never seen or even know what a Wolfenstein is.
Yeah,
so basically,
what is our intent
they're
here?
They're going to instantly turn off. Like Wolfenstein, I think it's going to rely on people who liked The Punisher.
Yeah. So it's got to be the right. So obviously there's going to be violence, but also there's got to be a pretty boy at the front who's shirtless a lot. Like I'm thinking, we arrow Wolfenstein, okay, but it starts with you've got Normandy, and it starts off in like let's do black and white, so it looks like war footage, and then you see the boats like landing, and then you get a voice being like, "It all started on the 1st of September, 1939." D-Day, or the day we met, the Colossi. And then you've got the normal scenes from D-Day, everything's cool, but then on the Nazi sides, you've got big old fucking mechs coming over the fucking ridge, and they're like, ah! And the Allied forces get absolutely fucking decimated by mechs with, I'm imagining, like, old school machine gun arms, because that's a fucking trope, innit? And then like and fucking crazy explosions and shit, and maybe there's ray guns. Are there ray guns in Wolfenstein?
There are now.
In a way, good. Not like alien ray guns, but kind of they got various lasery things. Yeah,
we could have a nice little Easter egg to the Doom guy, because it's the same studios, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you could say at one point we thought there'd be a hero among us, and then you'll see like a silhouette or a guy in like a kind of he'll step off a bike, and in his bike helmet will it'll all be in green, and it will sort of look like the Doom guy, and you're like, fuck off, is that the fucking World War II Doom guy?
The hero of Wolfenstein is the Doom guy's, I think, granddad.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, and there's like another game from way back in the canon who is cool. Related as well.
Nice. Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So definitely have like a little like and you could even like put it in the orchestration. So to put the Doom theme in orchestration, like and like he runs, and there's like lots of violence, and then a mech just fucking like like spit of machine gun fire all up the that way that it hits the ground before you, and it's like and it's all like that, and then it just lights him up, and then they're like, all is lost, and fucking they die, right? Then we've got in the first 10 minutes is just like the Nazis subjugating fucking the world while that fucking song plays, and that everybody's talking at me, I can hear a word they're saying, all the echoes of my mind. That one, whatever that is. That thing.
I know what you mean.
And people like being enslaved and stuff. And then cut to the year 20 whenever. don't know, whenever year 20 Wolfenstein.
No, you're jumping away. No, Wolfenstein's still generally set like just after the war.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, so it's that they get hold of the tech is like. It's usually you lose a couple of years between like something happens to BJ Blazkowicz, and he will go comatose for a while and then come back, but it's usually like reasonably like late war period, because the Germans win the war a lot faster because of the tech, or early post-war because they're just that they're in charge of everything afterwards.
Hold on, this isn't sitting right with me. Maybe I've not seen enough of the Wolfenstein stuff, but my impression of Wolfenstein, the sort of like the kernel of what it is, it's fantasy. It's not like science fiction. The Nazis have got advanced technology. They've got magic. There's undead being raised.
From what I remember of Wolfenstein 2, it's, and I might get this wrong, it's a secret sect of, I believe, Jewish like sorcerers, basically,
We could probably leave that out. I mean, that's not relevant, is it?
But I think, and I think that's part of why the whole, anti-Semitism of the Nazis, and they managed to get a hold of like some of their shit, and they use that for their tech.
Because isn't the abiding image of Wolfenstein a zombie in a Nazi uniform? Isn't that like the Wolfenstein image? Is that? Am I misremembering that?
Wolfenstein 2009 as like a dude, like a sort of skeleton in a Nazi image.
I think you're probably safer off sticking it to the war, keeping it during the war, and having it as a wartime adventure about the good allies fighting the Nazis. But then you bring in this whole fantasy element of the undead.
I don't think there is any
magic.
I'm on the Wikipedia and I'm controlling effing the words magic, and there's nothing there. There's no necromancers. There's no magic.
Here we go. In the first remake, so I think it was called. What was it called? It was just called Return to Castle Wolfenstein. This is the one. This is the one that really brought back the franchise, because the original was obviously the really old school Doom-esque.
No. So apparently the original.
Where you shot Hitler
was like a 2D. It was like a 2D.
Yeah. That's the original one. Yeah.
No, like a side scroller stealth game. Wolfenstein 3D in 1992 is the game I was thinking of, and we were all thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 100%. I think I could be completely fucking wrong.
In Return to Castle Wolfenstein, so the sort of the first of the new wave ones, the modern 3D shooter as everyone recognises it. In that, they raise a horde of undead Saxon knights using like ancient Greek magic.
Serves a strong old prison during
very few mentions of Jewish sorcerers
in Wolfenstein: The New Order. I found what it is. It's
the New Order. That's the most recent one, isn't it?
So New Colossus is the newest one. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Wolfenstein: The New Order is the first Bethesda one, I think. So this is the like recent resurgence, 2014, New Order.
Yeah.
So it's this group who I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but that Yichud or Yichud,
right?
Who were an ancient organisation which created all this tech, like energy weapons, computer AIs, and super concrete. And the Nazis managed to reverse engineer some of that. Like, I can't remember. They somehow got it, but it's advanced technology ahead of its time. I believe that in the New Colossus, it's maybe suggested there's something alien involved.
Yeah,
I can't quite remember.
Thulians, I believe.
They're Greek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I like how this podcast.
That's my Achilles heel. Geography.
I like how half of this podcast is us just reading the Wikipedia page for Wolfenstein.
Having a little read.
What the fuck is Wolfenstein?
Okay, lads. Right, first episode we're introducing to our characters, and that's fine, right? So we cut to like we watch them do a couple of guerrilla missions. We might even see that into the second one. Maybe they've got to rescue someone at the end of the first episode. In the second episode, at the end of the episode they find plans to some sort of technology. They're building a super weapon that will something free will, and you go, oh shit, what's that fucking about? And then BJ, we've got to change his name. I don't know what we can change his name.
Well,
to,
you could just call him William. His name is William.
Oh, right.
BJ's like the nickname.
Cool. Will Blasterwitz. Okay,
Blasterwitz.
Cool. Yeah, then someone will call him like BJ, and he'll be like, fuck you, and like it will kind of buck the trend and haha. So I reckon his call to adventure is that he's got to go to Castle Wolfenstein, which is like in the heartland of Germany or wherever the fuck it is. But I'm saying it's in the heartland of Germany because we can change what we like because it's our series. Fuck you. So
we're bad at
then
Wolfenstein
we've got
law.
I'm giving you the very much the overarching. I'm giving you a very weak a scaffold for which we can then build and put in what we want.
A rich foundation.
Yeah. So no, a fucking beach hut. upon which I wish you to build a tower. Right, so then you've got 2 to 3 episodes of them getting through Europe and sneaking into the castle. Then you've got the next 4 to 5 episodes of A plot being them in the castle, B plot being something to do with what's going on the outside, C plot, what are the bad guys up to? Oh, they're doing this and they're trying to get into power. Maybe you put like a political edge on it, like one of them's being, oh my god, yes, you put a political edge in. Yes, you do. One of them is trying to get elected as a president. Yes, you do. That's fucking glorious. And they're just igniting. There's this tide of like weird retro. Sort of retroactive racism towards like the Americans turning against Americans. Yes, we do a big analogy for Trump. That's fucking glorious.
Wait, is this still in the middle of the war, or
no? So the war ended and the Nazis took over, right?
Just checking.
Yeah. But like you've got like the Nazis took over. Yeah, that sucks. But then you've got like the subjugation of the people.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so you're thinking it's like. We're still kind of in the conquesty stage where they're still sort of establishing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're not getting anywhere. The Nazis control the fucking waters in the air, but America's still its thing, and they've sent diplomats over, and it's never gone very well. But you get this one guy who's a real slimy kind of businessman. See where I'm coming with this? And yeah, like he's gaining fucking thing. They're like, there's no way this man's a buffoon, and we'll just make all these parallels and just really upset Trump voters. So then that's like the C plot, and then you've got like 4 or 5 episodes where they're in the castle. So that means we're up to like 7 episodes now, and then we can either go completely fucking Army of Darkness and there's a portal, go back in time, or if we want to be less hacky, it's race against time to stop this guy from being elected, or team up with the guys who are being imprisoned and made to work on these almost magical artifacts. Done.
I don't think there's any time travel. I think one of the things I liked about the newer Wolfensteins is that there isn't like there's not like we can just stop the Nazis. It's like it's more particularly New Colossus was about we've got to take back America. It's not. It's very much things are fucked, and there's like a lot of work to do because even New Colossus ends with basically you taking out like one bad guy, one major villain, but it's sort of like okay, but there's still so much to do. So I think I kind of like that idea of the fact that it's very heroic and they're taking on the Nazis and blah 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 blah. It's all amazing stuff. But there should be, I think, consistently this real scope amongst what should be like this really over the top and kind of, almost a little ridiculous violence. The idea that they are still fighting the worst war in history, kind of made almost even worse by the fact that, we lost and they're having to sort of. I almost think you should always be able to think, okay, they're probably going to win because they are good guys. But I think it should have this constant tone, like, they might win this fight, but can they actually win this whole thing?
Okay, so then what we do is our C plot with with Trump, essentially. We really kind of try and make that as subtle as possible. They find out about it, and then in the last couple of episodes, they're fighting their way back to America to like expose him for what he is. They find some pictures of him. Maybe he was a scientist. I don't fucking know. Maybe even he was like created. He's like a clone, or some such horse shit. And they go back and they expose him, and no one fucking cares. Because he's already got the hearts and minds of the people, and he gets elected, and like the ending is your Empire Strikes Back of endings, where that's like your protagonists are just sat there watching the world around them, the America they know, completely succumb to Nazi ideals.
Yeah.
Ben, your thoughts. You've been very quiet. I hope you've been reading a whole load of lore, and now Ben's going to go, all of that's bollocks, here's my pitch.
Well, I haven't, but all of that's bollocks, and here's my pitch. I'm not feeling...
Zombie elephants. Anyone?
Well,
no?
It's closer to what I'm thinking of. The whole thing, I mean, if you're a fan of the Wolfenstein genre, you're not someone who's in it for the deep political messages. You're in it for killing Nazis and zombies because they're kind of the same thing.
Did you see the last game's marketing?
No, not at all.
Okay,
sorry. I mean the figures or the actual how they're marketing it.
No, so the marketing for the new Wolfenstein game was like, it's time to kick the Nazis out of America.
Yeah.
And people were fucking furious.
And they went hard on like the...
Yeah,
like
they just kept going like, do you really want to punch a Nazi with no repercussions? You can do it in this game. You know, stuff like that. If you just have like a cursory Google. So the reason I'm saying, you know, in keeping with the ethos, we would have this whole, you know, we try and have a more of an old school, for my understanding of it, Wolfenstein plot of like, oh, they're going to literally to Castle Wolfenstein where it all started, and they're going to see all these shitty fucking weird experiments, and it's going to be this kind of mix between this gory action horror, along with, you know, but you have this political like C story. It's the C story. Like you have a B story of someone doing some bullshit. I don't know, but the C story of just like this guy, and everyone's gonna think like, oh, these bits are fucking boring. Like, oh, these bits are like, oh, they're breaking up the action, and oh, that guy's a bit of a fucking creep. But for it all to tie together when like everything they've done, maybe they blow up fucking Castle Wolfenstein, or they shut down production on the fucking zombie factory, I suppose, you know, and then they come back and the America that they're fighting for has been fucking lost. Has been lost to them, and it will be, it will really tie in with their the political messaging of the last game.
I'd like to compromise then.
Okay.
I would like the big bad boss, the big bad guy in this. Also, the one that they fight, the big sort of like big guy that they fight, is going to be a huge mech, with a big swastika on its chest, and everyone calls it the Führer. Everyone's like, it's the Führer, and the rumor is that Adolf Hitler has been kept alive and is in that mech. So everyone kowtows to everyone with the respect that the Führer would deserve, and then, when they're captured, the mech is sort of towering over them, and it opens up, and inside, it's a gorilla. And the only way to keep Adolf Hitler's brain alive was to transplant it into a gorilla's body, and he's got the little toothbrush moustache under his nose, and the little hairs quiff to the side, so he's Gorilla Hitler. That's like the big reveal.
Fun fact, in Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, you actually meet Hitler, and he's on Venus. Like, they moved him off planet to try and keep him safe.
So
and
reality outweighed him.
So you've got
he's like, I do actually think
he's got his little mech voice on, and he's like, at last, I have you in my grasp, and this, you know, I won't make the same mistakes that I made the last time. And then like it's the mech slowly like, and then like the little body pod
comes out.
Yeah. Then the little body pod that's like holding the pilot slowly moves towards our main characters, and it slowly opens, and you've got the gorilla, and he just goes, "This time, it's for all the bananas."
Okay.
And I've just decided that it has the Crystal Maze theme to sign off for no reason. Dun 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 da dum bum 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 bum.
I'm gonna come back to Gorilla Hitler because that one.
What? Because it's the best fucking idea. Imagine a swastika made out of peanuts
or bananas.
Rather not.
Just a swastika made out of bananas.
But I do think I don't think the whole like American angle should. I think that should be a season 2 thing. I think season 1 should be about them being like they're completely cut off. They think they're just still stuck in the middle of the war. They know things have gone bad, but they think like if we can fight through. We know that whatever this... we've
so
heard
the
about the
mid-season
Fuhrer or
reveal.
whatever. We've heard that there's something going on at this castle. They fight through. They beat Guerrilla Hitler, and they're like, we did it. We beat this thing. We know there are Nazis in America because we know they're on the brink of winning the war. We know they won, but we took out Guerrilla Hitler, so we'll just go back, wrap things up, and then it should actually be like a.
And then you see the campaign posters everywhere.
Yeah, and it should be this realization that actually, while they've been fighting this war, and they've been fighting like, one brigade of Nazis total or whatever. One.
So they were. So whoever they are, we haven't decided yet, but like they were there in Normandy on D-Day, and their boats abandoned them and left them for dead, and they managed to escape. So you've got the 3D footage, you've got the mechs, you've got the fucking future tech, and you've got all this crazy stuff, and then it cuts to it being in colour, and you see like the bloody I say reality, but you see the harshness of war, and everything's fucked, but you've got him like crawling under some bodies and stuff, and then so then the story is he joins the fucking Normandy resistance. I like that. And then they go to Castle Wolfenstein, and the mid-season reveal is that, like, because he thinks everyone's gone, and the mid-season reveal is like, no, there's still shit going on in America.
It should be that. It should be this real. I mean, you could have it, it'd be Blazkowicz throw in a couple of like characters from across the games, kind of make this sort of amalgam squad. They can hook up with members of the French resistance, and that can be kind of how they initially sort of get back in fight. Like, maybe at the beginning they tell like, look, that's when they first start to hear about there's this thing at Castle Wolfenstein. Things are going badly elsewhere.
Can we get a really obscure cameo from the Saboteur? You know the Saboteur?
I don't.
Any of you?
No.
It's a video game that came out a while ago, but it was basically like Grand Theft Auto, but set in World War II. You were this Irish dude who went to France, and you're like, obviously because you're Irish, your specialty is making bombs.
Nice.
And you join the French resistance. And the entire point of you in the game is you run around. Well, it's a Far Cry essentially.
I recognise the
third
cover
person.
art for this.
You drive around. You blow up like Nazi strongholds. There's a bit of a plot. If you spend £1, you got the nudity DLC. Not that I ever did that, obviously.
Why was that a thing?
Because there were strippers in the bars, and so it was like, if you want swearing and tits, then you can pay £1. And I was like, absolutely not. And then
threw your wallet at the screen.
I entered a coma, and then all I remember is that I saw boobies. So,
oh god,
yeah, we should have a cameo from that. That would be kind of
cool. Just this random Irish dude going around making bombs.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, of course. So we have like this real kind of Dam Busters feel to it until we get to Castle Wolfenstein. Then it all gets a bit weird.
Because I think it'd be quite cool to have like a kind. I like when shows are kind of like consistent, but kind of manage to put almost a different tone on each season they do.
Yeah.
And like, so they go like, you still, it's Wolfenstein, but able to go like, Wolfenstein 1 is really like the war season, and then Wolfenstein season 2 is like the revolution season.
Yeah.
And so just, and then also just build up that reveal of like, have it, maybe constantly have them hearing from like the French resistance members. It's like, we hear like New York's still standing, New York's still fighting, the 6th Brigade or whatever it is holding New York Harbour. These vague reports where they know the war's still going on elsewhere, but it's not the main focus, and then it's only once they kill Guerrilla Hitler, which is a phrase that never gets old.
The greatest idea we've ever had on this podcast, apart from Indiana Bones.
But they somehow, I don't know, either they hear something's gone wrong in America, or they manage to, like, they get on a plane and they're like, okay, we're going to go back, we'll hook up with the Pentagon, and they manage to either maybe they get shot down, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening? We heard this area was safe, or as they're coming in, they pick up a radio signal or something saying to any friendly allies, that the Pentagon is falling or something, and that's when they come in and they see that the last of the you'd still have resistance out there, and obviously that would be season 2 is about them finding that resistance, bringing it together, and trying to overthrow, but have that be, I guess, almost more of strip back the war field and have it be a lot more them on the run rather than them just getting to guns blazing. I would
what do you do when your home isn't your home anymore kind of feel. Anyway, so we got to kind of focus on season 1. Otherwise we've just pitched 26 episodes of a TV show that we haven't even named it who's going to act beside that dude possibly from Thing, from Supernatural. So do we? I'd like a kick-ass lady in it, but not like a tropey kick-ass lady, like a Ray. She doesn't want you to hold her hand, but she just kind of gets on with it and gets the job done. It's not made a big thing of.
Yeah.
I'd quite like that. That would make me happy.
Anya in the new one was pretty cool. It's a bit weird how he meets her in that you are put in basically a coma at the beginning of the game during a battle, and you get taken to a psychiatric asylum in Poland.
Okay.
And she's the head nurse there, and she, her parents run the place, and they're sort of regularly forced to basically hand people over to the Nazis because of they're mentally disabled.
Because they're badmans.
And eventually the Nazis come for you and to wipe out the rest of the patients. Yeah. And they execute her parents, and she sort of...
if you fancy it, we could just do a straight rip-off of the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 5.
I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay, so dude gets fucking hurt on D-Day. The boat's abandoned him. He's running, gets shot in the leg by a sniper, or even worse, gets shot in the head by a sniper. And you're like, "Fuck, okay, cool." I thought that guy was the main character. Then he wakes up in a hospital. You do his treatment. That's where you get all your exposition from. And then the Nazis show up, and the place is set on fire. And you see, how fucking horrible the Nazis are. They're fucking just straight up murdering folks, and you've got to hide among. You see our character hiding among bodies and sneaking around. Basically, that's what happened at the start of Metal Gear Solid 5. But will not have the man who can dodge bullets and the tank and the horse on fire bit, because that was fucking strange. But yeah, there's kind of it's a real interesting trope of having our guy in a hospital gown with bandages still on, because that's showing a real, later on we're going to see him be this tough guy, and we've already seen him be this brutal fucking combat expert, and they'll bring this real vulnerability of it could happen to any of us, and that kind of sense of foreboding that the Nazis are so innumerate in size that they can fucking strike at any time, and if they really want to get you, they'll get you, but that you've got this shred of humanity, this shred of hope, this kind of will to live and fight in William Blazkowicz.
And she should be played by either Eva Green or Marion Cotillard, and she's one of the French Resistance, and that's how they get introduced to the French. Or she's friends with someone in the French Resistance.
Yeah, she wakes him up and she's like, "There's no time," the classic. There's no time to explain.
But maybe she's still got a medical background. And she's been doctoring the Resistance on the side, and she's one of the trying to just help out whoever she can, and she's like, I know you're American. Well,
no, let's not make her the helpless. I must help everyone I can sort of thing. She's been sent there to watch over him because they know that he's an asset. So, she goes to him, but you'll see there'll be a scene earlier on where a Nazi soldier comes in and she puts fucking saline in his drip or something. She just kills him.
Jesus, that'd be a nasty way.
Yeah.
Or I like the idea of them finding out that Blazkowicz is there, and like, you know, a Nazi busting into the room. Blazkowicz is still like all fucked up about it, and you know, she's been like, we got to go, here's the Nazi coming, kind of like, one moment, and like steps back. Nazi comes through the door, starts moving towards Blazkowicz, and then she steps out and just like blows his head off or something.
Yeah. And then we've got our scene, you know. I think it's a really powerful, like I said, a really powerful metaphor of seeing our guy, our fucking big bad dude, completely vulnerable, you know, a hospital on fire, because it's such an interesting juxtaposition. You know, you've got all this, you know, a place of healing, and it's a place of like danger and death. Anyway, Ben, you've barely spoken. I feel like that's probably my fault. I apologise.
I would agree with that. I do blame you specifically for this. I feel as though we're being very anti-Nazi in this pitch. In the interest of balance, I think in like Series 3, we should really emphasise that there's good people on both sides here.
Wait, it's Season 1, War. Season 2, Revolution. Season 3, Reconciliation.
We flipped the script. Turns out that BJ and his mates, they were the transgressors all along. The Nazis just want to get along and live.
Just because I'm a bad guy does not mean I'm a bad guy, you know?
Exactly.
You choose the real Nazi, is that what you're saying, Ben?
Yeah, who's the real Nazi here? Me with the swastika and the death's head on my cap, or you freeing people from our slave camps? So
yeah, I saw you punch anyone. Have you seen me punch anyone? No. Yeah, I might carry a gun, I might be guarding the doors of the gas chamber, but I haven't actually hurt anyone. I just stood here while you have been running around. You cut our nice new fences of our death camp. That costs money. That costs money to replace. Are you going to pay for that? Of course you're fucking not, because you're stealing my money that I was going to use in Nazi gold. You're stealing that, aren't you? Giving it back to the people. Well, I don't know what you're going to do with it, because you're going to kill me in a minute, and I'm not going to be able to see your task through. So who's the real bastard?
There is a moral equivalency here. I mean, like, yeah, okay, I've killed these people, and my whole entire doctrine is that I am better than they are because of my skin colour, sex, and sexual preferences. But at the same time, what about this guy who hasn't taken his shoes off when he came in from the muddy gardens? So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. We've got to show both sides here. We've got to be fair, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think season 2 starts off with a guy on a soapbox talking about all of that bullshit, and you have Blazkowicz is like in a coffee place drinking coffee, talking to Anya, and they're like, that, you know, he's drinking his shit, and she's like, "What did you get?" And he's like, he mumbles something, and then you know, we'll take the piss because he got a girly drink. Gender roles. And then he's sipping his like mocha choker marshmallow latte or whatever. And then there's this preacher, and he walks past, and this guy's being like, you know, it just needs to be representation on both sides. You know, we just want one thing, and that's the complete genocide of a race. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Rah 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 rah.
And then
he just walks up, and he's like, excuse me, and just puts his coffee down and just like fucking punches this guy, and that's at the point where he put his fist connects with the guy, like the fucking front cover of Pantera's vulgar display of power. That's where it freeze frames and goes, Wolfenstein Season 2.
There is only one side.
Yeah,
we're stealing that from the game.
While Clear Credence or
Credence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah, just plays. It ain't me. I'm no fortunate son. Yeah.
And I do want, though, there was the villain of Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, is this woman called Frau Engel, and that
doesn't sound like Guerrilla Hitler.
No. So this would be season 2.
We've already established.
We've got like the political figure who's taken out, but she's like the Nazi behind him, because she's fucking horrifying in the games. Like,
oh really?
She's one of the. She's sort of she's behind the League of German Girls, they're called, and she's
the
like,
League of German Girls.
Yeah, and behind like this,
I've watched that movie.
The movement to like, you know, the duties to like raise Aryan children, and like she's completely fanatical about like the whole Aryan belief, and she's just like completely hideous and horrifying, and so I want her in there as like the real villain. And you could even reveal her as like the villain for season 3 after, if they manage to
when they have their meetings and they take attendance, does she write all their names down in a logbook?
Oh, can we have this Frau Angle lady? Can we have her like super into S&M? Just like we see her and she's like just completely covered like head to toe in latex, no holes at all, anything like that.
Well, then she'd die. She dies instantly
That's
with
part
no
of
air.
That's part of the arousal.
Admittedly, there is like a sadomasochistic element to her in the games anyway. Like,
have you seen? Have you guys watched the Netflix series Happy?
Not yet. No.
Okay,
I've read the comic book.
I'm not going to go. But yeah, so like the main bad guy's really into BDSM. And he dresses as like a fly, but it's all like covered in latex. And there are some scenes in Happy where like there's like an office away from an office, like secret door sort of thing, and there are just like fetish parties going on, and it is like terrifying. So we'll get a bit of that going on. Just nick that from Happy.
Is that kink shaming though?
It's not kink shaming.
Is it
I don't
not?
think it's kink shaming.
We are associating it with an
shaming.
artsy. We're saying like.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
If
you're into that and it's safe and everyone's consenting,
this is it.
You crack on. As a man who's attended a fetish market and had quite the lovely time just watching people penetrate each other, I was like, okay, well that's a thing that happened.
That's a lot more than I wanted to know about you.
That's a very weird day that I didn't take part in any of the
It was a whole day?
But it was a... I say it was a weird day because it just happened sort of out of nowhere.
I feel like it's almost weirder because you didn't take part, like that you were just there.
I was just there going, well, that's a fine hadget. This was fucking absolutely years ago.
It happened out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I just room. I'll stick around though.
Yeah, I was at an anime convention. I was trying to have a Yu-Gi-Oh duel with a guy getting bummed by a rubber fist.
Please tell me you were over like 18 at the time. You were like a 14-year-old boy going, well, this is a turn up for the books.
I was an adult at the time.
Oh, good.
Just about an adult, but yeah.
I really want to dive into this more.
After that day, you certainly were an adult.
I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it off air.
Post show.
And for $1, you can find out about it.
Yes! A callback. Listen, we are on fucking form. Brilliant. Right, do you know what? That's it. I'm fucking ending it there. That ends on a callback. We end on a high and we end on you wanting more. For those of you that have enjoyed Wolfenstein as a series of games, sorry. But I think that's a pretty coherent... if you can follow all the threads that we pulled there, that makes a pretty coherent 3-part series. So, not 3-part series, 36-part series. So Netflix, hit us up. Are we gonna do? Yeah, we are. I'm just calling it now. So I think at the end of this series, because we said we were gonna do this last series and we didn't. At the end of this series, we're gonna pick one of the pitches that we did, and we won't ask the audience because you lot never write in. But please keep reviewing us on iTunes. It's lovely of you. Thank you. We'll pick a pitch that we all like the most, and then we'll write to whoever, and we'll get nothing back. But I will write it in we will write it. Yeah. I'm taking it upon myself because I'm an overachiever. But we'll write it in such a way that's like, so for this it would be like dear Netflix
/ Bethesda.
We know you're well good at series and that, and we don't really own the property, but we got a banging idea for Wolfenstein. It involves Guerrilla Hitler. Hit us up.
Bethesda seem chill. I'm sure they'll go for it.
Yeah,
here's
we
my
can
issue,
totally get Bezzy involved if they want it. Lots of we believe the series can be top banana. Brackets, that's a gorilla joke. See previous sentence.
No.
Close brackets.
I've got issue with this because, say we do this, we send it off to these guys. We send our Guerrilla Hitler, fucking S&M Nazi,
and they
chaos.
take and they say yes.
That's the worst situation if they say yes. We're like, well, we've got nothing else, so bye. No, what if they look at it and go, what the hell is this shit? And then in 5 years' time, we're like, oh shit, I've actually written a really good pitch for a TV show. I'll send it to Netflix. They see my name in it and go, no, he's the guy that did the Guerrilla Hitler shit, so throw that in the bin. See, it's a legitimate concern out here.
Okay, well, don't pick this one as your pitch then.
Fake names. We use fake names.
Or we just go, the gentleman from Pitch Please. They're not going to fucking check it out, are they? They're just going to read it. We're not going to get a response.
I'm going to use the pen name Gondolier Yahtzee. That's my nom de guerre.
My alter ego will be Felicity Bat Signal. What's yours going to be, Callum?
Oh God, I don't know how to follow up that.
Just look around the room and pick
whatever Ben's.
How dare you! I only did that for the surname. Fuck you.
There's Felicity over there, and there's the bounce signal through the window.
Yeah, this entire time, a woman called Felicity's just been sitting there. Like,
can I go now?
Hang on, Fliss. I've just got to record this thing. I'll be 5 minutes tops, and she just sat there seething for an hour. Any chance I had of fucking her has completely gone out the window. I just like to maintain it's me and the dog. Like, there's no one here.
There's no one being held against their will.
There's
Why
no one being held against their will. But you fucking... I'm finishing up. Shut up.
It's going to be great.
Anyway, Callum, what's your nom de guerre?
It's a tough one because, there's not much in my room and I don't really know
Gerald
Callum
Pringle.
We're just like drawn out really long, like this awkward Callum Tim, damn it.
And you just sort of trail off towards the end, like you're resigned to the fact that your brain could only you're like Callum Tin.
Shit.
My name is Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Turtleman. I'm a Jewish gentleman. I come from a long line of Turtlemans.
I'll just go by Bruce Wayne and just be like really obstinate about it. It's like Batman. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who the fuck is Batman? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, Google it.
This is my name.
What's Google?
It's a long
just
family history. My daddy was Bruce. My daddy's daddy was Bruce.
My daddy's mummy was Bruce. We don't talk about that. It was
a bit of an odd one in.
But we respect her and all of her choices. That really wound me up about this is going slightly off topic, but the DC Metal series, but it was like all the Batmen were called Bruce apart from Bryce. It's like just go for it. Just call her Bruce. Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't know. I don't even remember.
Yeah, the Aquaman.
Oh yes, no, I do.
They should have just called her Mermaider or
Mermaider. Oh yeah, no,
Mermaider.
The Drowned, wasn't that what her one was?
The Drowned, yeah. But they should have called her Mermaider because you've got that the tie-in there is with the Batman Metal series, which is like an animated series of videos. There's 3 of them. Don't watch the 3rd one when you're around people. There's a very alluring Batgirl.
Yeah, that one.
It makes me feel funny in my pants. I've got a bit of a crush on Batgirl anyway, and just.
That's exactly what that confirmed everything I thought about Batgirl. I was like, that's what.
Yeah.
Babs.
Yeah, I needed some time. In the
and Death Clock was the other connection.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to say, and then I got distracted. Anyway, So
for more thoughts on why,
for more thoughts on that, we need just $2 on Patreon, mate. I think mid-season.
What are our tiers, by the way? It's $1 for the pre-show, 20 for the post-show, $2 for you to talk about banging Batgirl.
Yes.
And $10 for boudoir photo sets.
Yeah. But I will talk about banging Batgirl with some light jazz on in the background. Like, like fucking, or go full NPR. Like, I'll be really close to the microphone and be like, so I've always thought about having sex with Batgirl since a very early. Right, hang on. We're gonna recreate this. Give me a second. Lounge jazz. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk about stuff.
Ben,
yeah,
what
okay.
are
just
your
pop this on the old speakers.
thoughts
Give me a
or
minute.
feelings about Batgirl?
There we go.
I'm feeling extremely uncomfortable right now.
I've always felt that Batgirl has been a character that's been incredibly sexual as a construct. She was created as this sort of antithesis to the very hyper-masculine ideas of Batman and to some extent the boyish charm of Robin. And Batgirl was created as a bit of a rebellion against that. And I've always enjoyed a woman who rebels. And I think that's really why I jack it 3 to 4 times a day over pictures of Batgirl, thinking about Batgirl and her long and ginger hair and guys.
And when I saw her in cartoon form, grinding on a stage, I was like, yes.
Right, if Geary doesn't comment about the secret Patreon by episode 3 of Pitch Please Season 3, I'm going to make a secret Patreon.
I mean, there's honestly no reason that, I think we have every right. It's secret, so...
I think he'll be furious and definitely threaten to pull funding. But then I will remind him that he has a Scrooge McDuck-like vault of money in which he uses to go on medieval fucking banquets every other weekend and spend £300 on Kickstarters.
And I mean,
so
by then, we'll have all our secret Patreon money. So...
We'll go rogue! We'll go pirate! It'll be glorious! You're listening to another not Geek Pride podcast. Oh, it'd be brilliant. I'll change the intro again. I hope you like the new intro, by the way. A quick peek behind the curtain. It's not done yet when this episode was recorded. So if it's not an incredible anime style theme tune, then I fucked up. So sorry if it's not that.
So look forward to whatever it is.
Yeah. So, listen. We've got a segment to do. I've just remembered. We've got a segment to do. What's happened? Oh, okay. There was a little message beep. We've got to check out Tinder.
What?
It's going down. I'm yelling.
Tyndall. Where we just have a quick check-in on you and your love life. Have you joined Tinder yet?
I was already on Tinder.
Excellent. Right. So how are we getting on?
Well, I mean,
both Ben and I are very concerned about your dating life. So we've created.
That's not entirely true.
No, I couldn't give a shit if I'm honest. Like, if I'm being completely frank, but Ben's been really tugging on my fucking sleeve.
Ever since Ben got kids, he's become like,
podcast.
Why has everyone not got them?
So how's it going?
I think I'm giving up on Tinder. I think it's
well, it was a short.
Tune in next.
I made a fucking jingle for you prick.
Tune in next week when I maybe come back to Tinder.
Is that it? That's all you're giving me? I give you. I fucking throw you a fastball and you dribble it. I don't know sports. I don't know sports. I tried to do a sports reference and I can't. I'm sorry, Mum. I'm sorry, Dad. All right, I'm not a runner anymore. I like cake too much. Okay, stop it.
Pitched me a baseball and I was like, time to dunk this.
You hit it with a wiffle ball racket.
No, it's just
you hit it with one of those. You hit it with one of those fucking plastic things that's got the drum skin over it that just goes pah. You fucking hit it.
No, just
True story. When I was 5.
Okay.
I was 5, so fucking bear with me. I had 2 of those rackets, but I never realised I had 2 of those rackets. I just thought one of them could teleport. And I would spend quite a bit of time trying to find it and going, right, well, I've put that on my bed, and then if I go into the garden, it will appear in the garden. So then I go to the garden and be like, holy fuck. And my biological father caught wind of this, and he'd just start hiding it around the house, like both of them. I'd be like, holy shit, I don't understand how the magic works, but the magic works. And that was my those fucking boom rackets, whatever the fuck they're called, that just go PAH when you hit them. Anyway, that's been this episode of Pitch Please. If you like what you heard, then please rate and review us on iTunes. It's super important that you do. It's how we remain visible to anyone who's looking for us. If you're on any other kind of podcasty thing, then rate and review us on that too. I'm not sure how the other podcast systems work, but if Amazon, Google, and Apple are anything to go by, if you rate us high and write sort of reviews, then we get recommended. So please do that. That would be lovely. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, then you can find me on Twitter at @the_dark_Mike. You can find Callum at Callum Tyndall. You can't find Ben, he's too busy shagging. Whoa. Or you can write into content@geek-pride.co.uk. Make sure you mark the subject Pitch Please, or Ben, insert Matt Geary joke here.
Matt Geary
is so
rich
geary,
and so doesn't deserve any respect.
Classic comedy.
I actually really like Matt Geary. He's a good lad.
I'm gonna, at the end of this podcast, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it over the Soviet Russia theme.
Rise up, comrades.
So, what are we pitching next week, Mike?
I don't know. Right, no, so next week it's gonna be the classic format. So let's have a little roll of the dice. Let's go. We've got number 5. That's a 5? Yeah, 5. Okay. Fuck. Anime fairy tales.
Anime fairy tales?
Yeah.
Like,
so I guess make an anime of fairy tales, or the anime fairy tale, or... I didn't write this, by the way. I think it's one of Callum's.
I did not do anime fairy tales. I know there was fairy tales. I think Ben suggested fairy tales.
Is that 2 things? Is that 2 pictures?
Oh shit! Is it really?
Batman, Star Wars.
Well,
I'm down for it though.
All right, cool. So Callum's going to do it.
I found it. It's because Ben suggested live action anime, and then there's a different one, fairy tales, and clearly you managed to copy them into one line.
Oh, because I've put any DC character live action.
I'm so down for it though. Anime fairy tales, even better.
Yeah, cool.
It's
done.
It's done.
All
right, well, I'll pitch versus Callum, and Ben will have to suffer through my beautiful, beautiful anime voice.
Oh, you're gonna have some really disturbing. You know whenever anime take characters, in general, or whenever they take characters you kind of know, and you're like, oh, why does Red Riding Hood look like that?
Yeah, so get ready, tune in next week for these sorts of quotes. Mike, Rumpelstiltskin doesn't have tentacles. No, the wolf can't have a giant cock sword.
Even better.
Stop it! She's 94 years old.
Prepare to see me and Mike's amateur animations. which we'll post in the show notes tier of our secret Patreon.
Absolutely. For only 31 cents.
Why are we giving the good shit away so cheap?
We give away the good stuff for cheap, and then the really banal stuff we just sell for
$20 for the post show.
Yeah, we'd be like, you're a true fan. And then we'll make really weird in-jokes. So this will be an in-joke for anyone who's bought the £20 tier. Oh. Giraffe fetus, am I right? If you want to understand that joke, then you can sign up to the £20 tier of the secret Patreon. Anyway, that's 10 minutes wasted of your time, and that's what you give us. That's the only resource you give us at the moment until we do our secret Patreon. So sorry about that. I've been Mike Orvis. He's been Callum Tyndall.
Bonsoir.
He's been Ben Fee. We will see you next week or the week after. We're not sure yet. Depends on what Geary wants to do. And this is Pod Racing. Yeah. Sign off.
Are we married to that?
Keep it in.
Matt Geary is rich and so doesn't deserve any respect. Rise up, comrade.